This is KMAC Red Raider Nation's Countdown to Kickoff, sponsored by Covenant Medical Group Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
All right, back on Countdown to Kickoff, probably about 20 minutes or so from Texas Tech and Oklahoma, kicking things off. For a couple more times we visit with Eric Kelly back again. Technical difficulties fixed, with more about that Red Raider defense.
Yeah, that Red Raider defense going up against a really, really good Oklahoma offense. I don't have to share the stat, but I'm going to do it anyway to show you how good they are. First in the nation in total offense, and so naturally you'd think, well, there's no way Texas Tech could possibly be focused mentally on anything else than what's across the line of scrimmage from them. But yet, when we talked to Keith Patterson earlier in the week, he just seemed stuck a little bit on some of those what-ifs from the Arizona game. And it wasn't the drive you're thinking about. It was actually after Texas Tech took a 14-13 lead in the third quarter. Texas Tech defense forced Arizona into 2 third and longs to start out that possession. Neither time did they stop the Wildcats. Ended up finishing off with a 1-yard touchdown run. And when, again, you could tell how haunted he still was by that inability to keep them out of the end zone.
Really, to me, it wasn't the 99-yard drive. I'm just going to be honest with you. It was the one before. Yeah. When we had them in 3rd and 14, and man, we were spying the quarterback, and we did. I mean, when we let them off the field right there, and then we get them in 3rd and 10 right after. I mean, in 4 base down run plays, they had -3 yards. We get them in 3rd and 14. We get them in 3rd and 10. They hadn't gained a yard. Matter of fact, they had lost 3 in 4 plays up to 3rd down to 2 third downs. I mean, I really believe this. I mean, if we hold them right there on 3rd down and 14, and we could somehow manufacture a score, they're punting out of their end zone, we get a score. Now it's 22-13. It's a different game. That 99-yard drive, it's a whole different deal. They're throwing the ball to try to catch up 2 scores down.
You can hear the slap of the hands. He probably had nightmares about that for the next week. And when you think about whether or not it'll be more nightmares here in Norman, it doesn't look great because Arizona's 3rd nationally in 3rd down conversion percentage. Oklahoma even better than that in 2nd. Texas Tech allowed the Wildcats to convert on over 70% of their 3rd downs. So it might not get better today if, and that's the big if, they even get Oklahoma in those types of situations with how big play and explosive the Sooner offense is.
When we last left you in the last segment, we were talking board games, and I thought you almost went away again. We quickly need your letter grade for that front 7. Since you're talking about defense, it flows right in. My letter grade was an E, as in E for effort. What do you got?
I gave an actual letter grade. My board's on the ground, but I gave a D- because it won't be very good. I'll talk about it a little bit later, but it will not be very good. It's important, but it won't be very good because this Oklahoma offensive line, we've seen the type of O-lines the Sooners have had in past years. If it's anything like that, it might not be pretty. All
right, and quickly, since you don't have the board, what's your headline for this game whenever the paper comes out or you read online later today?
Yeah, the Don Williams headline tomorrow will be "Hurts so bad," because it's going to hurt really, really bad. And Jalen Hurts is going to do a lot of damage today in Norman. All
right, and I'll finish it off with a Bill Belichick version of it, and we're just going to go with on to OSU. On to OSU. All right, Eric, we'll be
just
back.
Straight to the point. That's why we love you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll check back in with you here in a few minutes. And time once again for our Covenant pregame report, joined once again by Dr. Courtney Cowden. Courtney, unfortunately, we talked about it all year. It's something we didn't want to talk about. It rears its ugly head. Alan Bowman hurt last week in Arizona, and he lands on his shoulder, and no word on the specifics of the injury, but we've seen stuff like this when quarterbacks get taken down in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers comes to mind. Trevor Siemian, when he was with the Denver Broncos, injured an AC joint in a very similar fashion, potentially an AC joint, a collarbone injury. What's the difference between the two and timetables for recovery for those?
Well, I mean, one is a bone, the collarbone or clavicle is the bone that connects your sternum to your shoulder. And if that bone is broken, that takes 6 to 8 weeks to heal up. And it's just a matter of allowing that process to take place. An AC joint injury or a separated shoulder, that's the same thing, is either a dislocation or a partial dislocation of that joint. And that also has to heal. Sometimes it needs a surgery to bring the collarbone back down into the joint. Sometimes it's only a little bit out of place and it'll tighten up with time and just needs to heal. And that also takes 6 to 8 weeks. It's kind of a magic number in orthopedics.
Well, we learned during Monday's press conference from Matt Wells that there was no surgery needed for Alan Bowman. So I guess in a collarbone situation, is there a difference between recovery time for if you have surgery or if you just let it heal naturally?
Not really. The point of a surgery on a collarbone would be to line the bones back up again. The bones still have to take the same process of healing, which is 6 to 8 weeks. The point of going in and putting a plate on it or a screw or something is just to get everything back down close to each other so that process can take place.
Well, good news there. At least we know there was no surgery involved this time around with Alan Bowman. Doctor, we appreciate your time as always.
Thanks.
Nan, stick around. When we return, Eric and I give you what to watch for in today's game. But first, Ron Roberts joins us with a look at today's weather there in Norman.
Well, David, thunderstorms, of course, have been happening across West Texas, but here's the big story. The big game today in Oklahoma with OU and Texas Tech does look like this. Precipitation is not just going to stop at Childress or stop at Lawton in southwest Oklahoma. Unfortunately, the forecast models are suggesting that rain will begin to increase during the morning. This is the kickoff time at 11 o'clock. During the game, periods of rain at times moderate may impact the football game. So this, although temperatures will be in the upper 70s, near 80 and muggy, that rain may be a big factor during the game, maybe even a lightning delay. Can't rule out a thunderstorm or two, David. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. And of course, I know Red Raider Nation will keep an eye on it too.